The girls are
What's
live.
that? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, Miss Ricky. Go ahead.
I was just saying the girls are live. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We're all the way live. Welcome back, you guys, to another installment, episode, whatever you want to call it, of Reality Right After. So I'm going to say reality, and then everybody say right after with me, okay? So another episode of Reality
Right.
Right After. We're going to work it out. We're going to work it out because it's cute and I like it. We're going to work it out, though. But welcome back to another episode of Reality Right After. I'm so glad to be back with you guys this week. I, of course, am Chase at Urban Beat Music on everything social media. Ricky, what's going on?
What is the TTT? I'm Ricky B. Follow me at Ricky B on all platforms. Katie ain't got a lot going on. What's going on, sister?
Kaden, what is the T,
I'm
sister?
so sorry. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Kadian. Follow me on all social media platforms, Kadian underscore.
All right, now, Kaden, I see you got on your Barbara Walters blazer today, so we get
We
for
have
some good
some
news.
business to handle
We have some
tonight.
business to handle, honey. We have some things to get into. Shout out to Kay, who's not feeling well. Shout out to Wellington. Shout out to Thomas. And shout out to you guys for coming back for another episode of Reality Right After.
Sir.
Girl, the people just don't want to work with me on nothing, honey. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Miami, you guys. I actually am pretty excited now. And, at first it was, going along, but I appreciate what we have gotten. It's been organic, it has been organic. And yes, ma'am, Nicole, honey, push through on these girls. Nicole and Gertie, you guys are setting the standard for new housewives, but definitely Nicole, who went up against more than one OG. She went up against three OGs and unforgettable. I like to call people who come after season one unforgettable. So she fought Larsa, Lisa, Marisol, and Alexia at the table at once and held her own. Katie, and what did you think about that? Props to her.
I was really impressed to be a newbie and handle all the vets and ruffle their feathers. I loved it. I really, really thought in the beginning, Nicole, when she was pushed up against the wall about the whole OnlyFans thing, and she was quick to, say, it's not that bad, blase, blase. And then when she sat at that table and they were all just trying to jump at her at one time, and I know Marisol was trying to prove the point of her being such a good friend to Alexia, but it got lost in the sauce because it was just like her consistently trying to get Nicole to own up to every single thing. And sometimes I feel like when you don't know people and you're about to be amongst them and you hear things about them, you might engage in certain conversations. And it's not that you're casting judgment, but the first things out of your mouth is what maybe somebody might run back with. Like, oh, I don't know Lorsa, but I've heard she was a hooker, It's not, it's not a good thing that you're carrying on these things, but it happens and more frequently than it doesn't, right? So I thought
Absolutely.
it was fair game that she was sitting there taking all the blows and then she was giving them right back. But here's the thing, Nicole, you should have just simply been like, listen, I might have said it, I might have not said it, but even if I did, that's not how I feel about y'all currently. And let it be vetted.
Yeah,
Let
you're
it be
absolutely
vetted.
correct.
But it just kept on being bounced around from it was just too much. And then Larsa got in her purse about the whole thing. And I mean, it is insulting to be called a hooker. I would be upset too. She had all rights to be mad. But
I don't think that
Nicole
Nicole
handled
used
that.
those words. I don't think Nicole said hooker, but she probably alluded to everything but a hooker. And you know what?
Everything but a
And
child
that's
of
okay.
God. Mhm.
Right, and listen, when you don't know people, you make your comments, you make your this, you make it that, you meet them, and then you formulate the actual opinion, and you move forward from there. Is she guilty of talking trash about our co-stars before actually meeting and getting to know them? Absolutely, you are guilty of that verdict, honey. But we all do it. It's not right. It's not okay. But everybody does it. And so, Nicole, I'm gonna give you a pass on that. However, when you are trying to make things right and smooth things over, the way that she was going about it, like I could tell that the intent was to, put everyone at ease and say, hey, listen, I was wrong and this is what I thought. but this is what I think, this is how I feel, and this is what I think of you ladies. And she continued to put her foot in her mouth. And so whatever. But I did like how she turned the tables on Alexia. And so next episode, we're gonna go ahead and see what happens with that. So Real Housewives of Miami, y'all gotta go on down to the Peacock. I'm gonna go ahead and watch another week. But let's get into what everyone wants to talk about. It is on the tips of housewives, the tips of the tongues of housewives Twitter's lip. Try to say that 3 times fast, honey. Come through, okay? It is the situation with she who shall not be named, darling, because she will not ever hear me utter her name from my lips. But she who shall not be named with those allegedly, well, I don't even want to say allegedly because she owned up to it. And I know that we should say allegedly in the light of Tasha K. But if she apologized for those sentiments, then that means that she did go ahead and post them. So the post that she made, it's just a lot going on, y'all. I'm gonna kick it to you, Ricky, first if you want to speak about it. But it's just a lot. Like either way it goes, she's in the wrong. So.
Nguyen. What I want to talk about. So I think what we should kick off talking about is her getting fired.
Yay!
And brava.
Confetti.
I think that she got fired because of when they saw the ratings and they saw the backlash, and Mary Hive ensued, and we took our pitchforks and our signs to Twitter and showed our ASSs. I just don't think she was fired because the comments were racist or derogatory or hurtful. I think that it was a PR stunt in that they could not salvage her reputation in the streets. And so that's why they had let her go. And so she had become more of a detriment to the show's brand than controversial drama to talk about, because it's just not the element where people think, Ramona comes from a different era where she has been able to create this decade worth of fandom, whereas Jennie is very new. So we're not. Bye, girl. What you thinking about, Chase?
Honestly, whether it's because she's racist, whether it's because she's prejudiced, whether it's because she is a domestic abuser, whether it's because she's a liar, or whether it's because she's just flat out boring, she needed to go. So I'm happy.
It's crazy that we're even sitting here talking about it because we're in 2022. By now, every program, every show should have some type of protocol that they sweep, do multiple interviews, look in background checks, all those things, because we know they know it's going to cause an uproar. And my biggest thing is with said person, there is making a mistake and saying, you know what, I was ignorant to certain things. I was on another side of certain things. I don't mean to cause harm to other people. This was what I believe. This is what I stand for. It's going to take me some time to get to the other side. Own it. Own it if you're going to own it. Don't apologize or take accountability or say it was other people running your social media platform. Did you never once go look at it to see what was being posted under your name? I've not heard of a real boss having multiple people run their company or whatever the thing might be, and she's no Jeff Bezos, and you don't know what is going on at all. What if they were posting things about the Asian community or something like that, and you're just so oblivious to everything, right? And then instead of saying, I'm sorry, it's just excuses. I'm so sorry. It's taken me a while to say certain words because I'm trying to be as calm and nice and appropriate as possible because I can't deal with people like her in real life. You slow our society down, and you're on a huge television platform. And Ricky's absolutely right. I don't think Bravo went in the route of firing her because of the posts. They saw the reactions on social media. And not only that, she was already starting to film season 3. They've been filming season 3. She's been in scenes. And they didn't stop till the reactions on social media, and it's sad to know she was even around other women of color, and she kept on continuously targeting a black woman at that while on the show. So no apology, no nothing is going to make me believe that she is going in the right direction, or she wasn't the one that was posting those posts.
Well, she apologized for it. And she said that she was
Okay.
coming from, well, what I'm saying is she apologized for it, and she came and stated that she came from a place of anti-violence. So if that is where you're coming from, and that is what you've stated publicly, then it is not far-fetched for us to believe that you were the one who made those posts. So, we're just going based off of what you said, but I don't know if you did it or not, allegedly. So, I won't be the one to lay the verdict on whether or not she actually made those posts, but those sentiments were shared on her Facebook that she stated was deleted a year or two ago, that magically reappeared and then was deleted again. So, listen, though, that's the story that she's stating. That's what she's sticking to. She's doubling down on it. And, listen, I think that almost nearly 200,000 viewers of a decrease in viewership was enough to go ahead and nail the nail in the coffin. And so whether we spoke on social media, whether we spoke, to each other, we definitely spoke in a live viewership on that airing on Sunday evening. And listen, there are housewives that we love, and then there are housewives that we love to hate, right? So the housewives that we love is whoever you love and whoever you stand for. And then the housewives that we love to hate are some polarizing figures. People love to hate Portia. People love to hate Nene. People love to hate Kenya, although she straddles that line with a lot of people. Love to hate her. And so those are characters that you bring back. Ramona has straddled the fence for quite a while with hate and love to hate, but throughout the duration of the show, more often than not, she is one of the characters that you love to hate, right? However, with this Jenny situation, there was no way around it. There was no back and forth about it. It was what it was, and there's no love to hate. So if you have a character that you have a love to hate relationship with, you may necessarily not want to see a redemption story. However, you're going to be willing to watch the redemption story so you can crap on it along the way, right? However, with this situation, no one wanted redemption. No one wants an apology. We just wanted her gone. And I will give Bravo this. Thank you for acknowledging and apologizing for your lapse of judgment on how long it took you to officially respond to the hurt. Because one thing I've noticed about these things, and I can't speak from a white person's point of view, an Asian person's point of view, a person's point of view, but as a black person, between this series of events, between what happened on Below Deck with the person using the N word, between watching Ramona and Luann act a fool on Real Housewives of New York and completely crap on the Black Shabbat dinner and nothing being said about it, nothing being done about it, to watching Kenya have to scrub the scene from Kenya last season with her in a Native American costume that was offensive and have to apologize about it when we don't get Luann Ross in blackface getting scrubbed from her episode, or the insensitive remarks that she made about Native Americans being scrubbed from her episode in season 5. It feels like the only people that are getting hurt are black people, because it does not feel that we are held to the same standard. Even when there's violence on our shows, we get a Bravo doesn't condone violence, whereas on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, those moments are iconic. On Vanderpump Rules, those moments are iconic. With us, they are stained on the Housewives' history, such as pillow talk or anything that has to do with that. There's stains on history, and we don't condone it. So it feels like we are getting hurt. So if this is the first step in a long series of steps that need to be made in order to make everyone feel equal when watching this show, then please, by all means, do it. And I'm going to wrap up with this because I know I'm long-winded right now, but I do want to say, and it is very important to say, for those of you who are watching and those of you who are tweeting and twatting and saying things like, well, hold the Mary accountable, da da da, and da 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 da. The thing is, and why don't black people have this energy towards Mary? The thing is, Mary is not the first, and she won't be the last, right? but how many housewives have we had to sit through? How many shows have we had to sit through? How many times have we had to take it on the cheek? How many reunions have we had to sit there and watch unjust treatment? How many times have we had to deal with it and nothing has been done? So you know what? If you feel like we're not saying anything,
And
tough nuggets.
and you know what too, Chase? I think something important you also brought up is that us as black folks, we're not ignoring that, some of the women who look like us, act like us, talk like us, don't do their own wrongs as well.
Absolutely.
Because although Candace and Monique got in a fight, you saw what happened. Monique left the show. Candace got scolded. And that does not happen, like Chase said, in New Jersey,
Exactly.
if they do any type of violence over in New Jersey, it's woo, we love it here. We want more. And that's what our point is. If you're going to scold one, scold all. Keep the same energy across the board, because guess what's gonna happen? You're going to have people not tune in anymore. You're going to have people attacking or sending tweets to whatever said person is that's in the wrong. And there is a big, big, big difference between being ignorant and not being knowledgeable to certain things and having your own political views. But there's also being a racist and posting things that are blatantly racist
I
and
didn't mean to laugh at you.
disrespectful.
Being a racist. I'm sorry. I was like,
No, I said that was a moment in my head, but but no, like
oh.
there's a big, big difference. There's a reason why there's different words for different things. And certain people say ignorant things and they immediately either correct themselves or they're like, oh wait, I didn't really mean to say it in that way. And we know what Mary meant when she said, I'm a little scared to go to the 7-Eleven. We know what that meant. But did she say it correctly? No. And we're not defending her, but we know where she's coming from. I don't know where putting up a black child and posting up next to a black man comes from. Okay, I don't know what that comes from. You're trying to prove that you're not a racist, but yet you keep on doing racist things. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I could go on and on about this because
Well,
she's just not taking no type of real accountability. And she literally sat there and said, "Well, I'm still very much so a Republican." Okay, you could be a Republican and not be a racist. So what?
well, hold on, Katie. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's also. I'm just sorry. Give me one second. Let's also bring up the fact that that's okay, Ricky. That there was a live tonight that Jennie did with that fake whack ass Kanye West, Kanye Pest, Kanye East looking ass boy. No,
The
but
prop, the black prop.
She
listen, you
just
said it. So
she's just so disingenuous. Like, for the nerve of you to find your nearest and dearest, token, or your nearest and dearest Judy, who want to hang out down to the house, or possibly get a feature on an episode, gonna come and sit his hunky dory self down, and where's the thinking?
She
Like,
had
who is
to
your
fly him
publicist
in. She
that
had
you
to fly him in.
the black people wanted to see you sit down with another black person that to convince us that you're not a racist? That even that sealed it for me. That cemented it for me. It's tattooed in my brain that Jennie's a racist because you did it that way. You
Hmm.
don't have a publicist. You don't have a team. Anybody to tell you that that was just dumb and stupid and ignorant.
You use
mm,
the black person to be your shield. You use the black person to sit next to you to take a lot of the heat. Because there was a lot of comments on the live saying, "Why do you have a black man next to you? Why is there a black dude next to you?" Not real questions about what is really going on in your head.
Someone has it. That was the little baby all grown up. That's what they saying.
And let's not forget,
oh,
this woman also has young children at home who lives in this real world society. Like, she might have grown up in Long Beach and now lives in Utah in a small bubble. But baby, you have young children who are going to school, who are POCs, who are amongst people that you're so headstrong with, riding for. And one day, you never know, your child might be on the end of the stick that us as black people face. And that's when maybe you wake up. But it's sick to know you have to go through something in order for you to recognize that something is wrong. And what's wrong is your brain.
Well, listen, I don't have much for that lady. And she's not very ladylike, but that person.
Low class.
And so I'll tell you what, I know you guys come to hear our opinions, and it is greatly valued and appreciated. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have nothing for the lady. So you guys can say what you want to say, but I am done talking about the lady.
Someone wrote in the comments how she raised such smart kids and beat this stuff. Beyond
Listen, I'm not going to talk about the children, but
me. Beyond
In
me.
the world of the infamous Nene Leaks, toodles, toodles, bye.
Babu, bleep,
The door is
bam.
closed.
The
The door is
door is
closed. The
closed,
door is
Miss Jenny.
closed. The door is closed, that lady, and please never to return again, honey. You are banished to embarrassedhousewives.com, and that's where the girls can look you up. Former
And
disgraced
what I
housewives without a clue. What were you
what I want
saying?
to say, what the devil meant for evil, God meant for good. And
And
Mary went
God
away with her
had
yes,
gospel
it.
and
church.
I also
Yes,
want to say
God.
too, I hope she is the example moving forward, and there's not another person that has to come along to be
Well,
the
I don't know if you
actual.
guys have noticed, Katie, but they want one more head. The people not done yet. The
One
people
more.
want the people want Ramona to sing ahead, baby. They all know.
Oh,
They
if
all
she
bravo about
comes,
Ramona the singer. They
if
all know.
she comes back, they are
All hell is
literally
gonna break loose.
torching their network because there's no way she's gonna go through an entire season and not make
And
mistakes like what she's been doing.
and
They're
listen, I'm
gonna
an
chop
avid
the first time she do it, they're gonna chop and watch.
yeah, listen, I'm an avid Real Housewives of New York City watcher. That is the franchise, believe it or not, that got me hooked into the Housewives fandom season three. Not the Real Housewives of Atlanta, even though it was water cooler talk at my job. Everybody was watching the first two seasons of Atlanta. I watch in and out, but I didn't really understand it, get it, like what am I watching kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And New York season three is what sold me. However, let's be very, very, very clear. The reason why this might be a shocker or whatever, I don't know. I feel that the reason why Ramona has become iconic is because Jill got fired and Bethany quit. And if it was not for those two matriarchs and pillars of that show leaving early within the show's run, we may never get Ramona being the top dog because Ramona always contributed. Please don't get me wrong, always contributed, always was very present in that show. But she was like they were A and she was B, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And
I think also her divorce played a part too in how she started reconnecting with women that, because she always looked at herself very differently from them because
oh
she
yeah, she was
was
better than them.
married. And she didn't used to throw that in Bethany's face all the time, find a man.
Lewinsky.
And now you don't
Yeah.
have one. And now you're still a racist. So karma is a.
Oh, well, baby, they on Ramona the Singer's head. With that being said, that was our reality TV recap. Ladies, what do we have up next?
Yes, we have some.
Hold on, before we jump off of
Oh,
Real,
because I told you I was done talking about that later. Go ahead.
we ain't talking about that lady. We want to talk
Oh,
real
okay.
quick. We want to run through Lisa Barlow's hot mic for Meredith.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget that?
Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it out. I'm gonna read it out. Okay.
Please.
Meredith can go fuck herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a fucking whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb fucking family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband
Wait, wait,
changed
wait, wait.
jobs.
Stop, Ricky. Stop, Ricky. She said all of that because that's not in the clip.
She said,
So
all
this
of
is an
that.
exclusive?
Yeah. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes. Meredith is a piece of shit. I have your back and I'm offended by that. Fuck you, that fucking piece of shit garbage whore. I fucking hate her. She's a whore. She fucks half of New York. She can go fuck.
Oh. Could you read that one more time uninterrupted? I'm sorry. I was
Oh,
literally, oh my God, I'm literally shaking like Lisa Barlow.
and
Like
I wish
that's
I had
crazy.
pearls on. I'm clutching my
Woo!
invisible pearls.
I'm clutching my shopping mall baguettes. I'm gonna get some real ones though. I'm gonna get some real ones though.
I'm dead. I'm dead. One more again. This is Lisa Barlow's hot mic about Meredith. She says, hold on, let me clear my throat. Get my little yawn out. Because I'm tired of Meredith too. She says, Meredith can go fuck herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a fucking whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb fucking family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Oh, wait, you can't because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes. Meredith is a piece of fucking shit. I have your back and I'm offended by that. Fuck you. That fucking piece of shit garbage whore. I fucking hate her. She's a whore. She fucked half of New York. She can go fuck herself.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're fighting.
Oh my God. First of all, weren't
Say
they
this.
supposed
Hold
to
on,
be
wait, Katie. I always say this though. Like when I hear something crazy, I don't know if you guys remember Big Mama's House too. And in that scene, when they was at down to the bingo and they say, Big Mama, you stole that man, my man. And the little girl, Big Mama was watching, the little sweet little girl, she looked up at Big Mama and say, Big Mama, is it true? Big Mama, is it true? Are you serious to me right now?
Big Mama said, I sure I gave him back.
Well, baby,
Hello.
baby, Lisa Barlow gave it back and then some. What were you saying? I don't want to do the show no more. I'm done.
I'm screaming.
Thomas!
Now, what was said? What was said? What was said?
What's tea? We're talking about Lisa Barlow's hot
Who
mic.
was that?
And
Hey, Thomas. Oh,
it's
my goodness.
crazy to
Hello.
me how someone who posed as being so close and being besties in season 1 is dropping this in season 2. Like,
But they are
girl,
besties.
even if she did screw half of New York, what's it to you?
Mad.
I ain't gonna lie.
You know what?
I hate when friends fall out and spill tea.
I do too.
I hate it.
But you know what? The reason why I'm going to say what I'm going to say is not because I believe in it, not because I advocate it, not because I think it's right, but it's a realistic thing that happens. We just don't happen to have mics. Like, I'm not spilling the tea to Katie and if Ricky pissed me off and I hope the helper owe me $10 and hope she on the slow fall to hell. But you better believe when I get to that house and I get in my room, motherfucking boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? To myself. So who was she telling this to? Like, there are so many layers to unpeel on this onion, honey. Who was she talking to?
I hope she was talking to Jen.
Was gonna
Was it a
say,
cast
Thomas,
member?
are you up to do you watch Salt Lake? Are you
I'm up on the latest gossip as it pertains to what's been in the blogs. You know, those are not my girls, but I did hear about the firing of Miss Jeannie. And
Oh,
before that, I
please
was
don't say
up
her
to
name on
date
the show, honey.
on them pushing Mary out. So I have been up on some of the things that's been happening. It's Bravo moved swiftly with it in regards to me. If you ask in my opinion on this on the case, I think a lot of people wanted them to act quicker. They wanted them to say more. They wanted them to do, a little bit more, given a lot of the other circumstances that have happened. But I was explaining this to somebody on Twitter, and I said I think it's a difference. It's a slight nuance between something airing on their platform where they had to address, i.e., the Kenya and the Indian headdress situation, and then something airing outside of the platform with one of the people who appear on their show. So uh, a it's a the dichotomy there. It kind of puts you in a rock and a hard place because you have your fans who want you to address things that happen outside of the show, even though they've seen it on social media and they want a response because of what you did when something happened on your show. So I hope that the fans are happy with the outcome. I am someone as someone who is of African American descent, who is a fan of Bravo TV, who believes that Bravo was built on the backs of Black women, I think this is the right decision to be made. However, there are some decisions that need to be rectified that were made in the past for Bravo to truly come out of this unscathed, because this was a casting disaster, not a decision. It was a casting disaster.
I agree with that too. But we were
I don't have nothing to say about that lady. I told y'all.
Yeah, we've had enough of her.
bye bye. In the words of infamous Denise Leaks. Bye,
The
girl.
door is closed again.
Baby,
The door
never
is
to return
closed.
again. You are banished, darling. Toodaloo. And with that being said, did anyone have anything else to add to that lady? Because I told you I'm sick of that lady.
Right.
No, I'm just hoping what Lisa said was to Jen, because that would be the only person I think that's there to justify, standing up with and having their back, because I can't imagine her having somebody else's back that Meredith said something to that would even hold weight for Meredith to just look past this, because this lady is married and you're accusing her of a lot.
And I wanted to clarify something as well. Listen, There was something that one of the housewives said that has always resonated with me. And, I feel like she is about as Italian as the Olive Garden. I never liked her then. I don't like her now. I don't want her to come back. So please don't take this as a ringing endorsement for Caroline Manzo because I don't like her. However, one thing that she has stated that she said throughout her run on the show that always stuck out to me, and I'm sure people have heard it elsewhere, but that was the first time I heard it was, you cannot have that much hate without that much love. So I think that they have both, Lisa and Meredith, pushed each other in different ways that they both know. It almost reminds me of Cynthia and Kenya in a way on Ultimate Girls Trip, how they were pushing each other's buttons. They knew were the buttons to push. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Meredith, you hanging out with Jen and you kicking it with certain people that's gonna piss Meredith off, and she's all about friendship and loyalty and family. And Meredith, you dismissing Lisa when she's having a meltdown because she feels like nobody takes what she's saying seriously. Is going to piss her off, and you do it at every chance that you get. You get what I'm saying? So those things, after a while, with cameras and 5 to 6 other opinions on you at that time as well, is going to definitely exasperate a friendship. And so I'm not excusing what she said, but I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can believe why she did it. I
I
get why she
believe
did
it
it.
too. See, but
Yeah.
here's how I feel, and what I hate between the Nenes and the Cynthias and the Marlos and and all these people who have their friendship breakdowns on. I'm a firm believer that, I mean, we're human, so we gossip and we have, bouts and anger. But if you're my friend, if you're my sister girl and I love you, it's just a certain level. I ain't gonna cut you. I might slice you a little bit,
That's
might
true.
scratch you a little bit, but I ain't gonna cut you down to the white meat. I'm not going to spill tea you told me in confidence. I'm not going to, those are not, I think it's this interesting phenomenon among certain friends where it's like a, how can I describe it? Like the Joker and Batman. It's like a frenemy thing. Like, we're frenemies. It's not a real, because, like, I get it. Meredith is upset because Jen was on Twitter calling her son a twink, and
Oh,
I'm not trying to be funny, but she was she was calling, I'm not laughing. I'm Chase. I'm not laughing at what she was saying. What
it
I'm
was
saying,
funny to me. I don't care. Run.
Jen was participating in some statements that Meredith felt like was derogatory towards her son and her son's sexuality. And a lot of people feel like, if I'm falling out with this person, if this person is attacking me, why are you starting a budding friendship? Why are you kikiing down? Why are you not standing up?
Absolutely.
Now I feel two ways. If we all met at the same time, girl, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all big one, y'all big two. But if I'm more your friend, I do choose sides because that is uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if I'm spilling my tea, you spilling my tea to her. I don't know what side of the fence you on, and it's making me uncomfortable. But I do think that Lisa did what she had to do in terms of advocating for Meredith as it relates to Jen from what we saw. Um, and I also think that Meredith kind of blew it out of proportion a little bit. Like, your son is one of the girls. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's he's grown, and I understand that, but you got to stay out of grown folks' business. You know what I'm saying? You put
But
yourself, you're gonna get burned. So I get it, but I just think she's putting too much weight on what happened, and then is having Lisa have the consequences for that. Now, what Lisa said was low down and dirty and wrong, and I want to know who she said it to. And I just don't think they were ever friends, because I really don't think your real friend will cut you down like that. I don't.
Oh, that's so good though. I mean, I hate it, but
But
I love to
then
watch it.
again, Meredith's a mom, and it happened to her child. And I feel like certain parents, they go a little harder and drag things when their children are involved, whether it's small and she's doing the most. That's the only reason why I'm like, all right, yes, I'm tired of her talking about it still. It's season 2. Like, let's wrap it up. But she's a mom, and if she still wants to be upset about it,
What that got to do with Lisa?
but okay, that's what I was trying to say too. I agree with you. I don't think their friendship was on the level of what they even thought their friendship was. Because to me, if I'm telling my homegirl, listen, what that other friend said about my kid is something I'm never going to be able to recover from. And my homegirl's like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm cool with her. I'm gonna do me. We gonna just be whatever type of friends we are from here on out. Keep it a buck. Don't keep on trying to drag y'all friendship and be like pick and choose. If she's coming, I'm not coming. It's annoying. Let's be adults and clear the air right away, because now she's cutting you deep, and now you're realizing she wasn't messing with you like that. And I honestly thought this from season one. Meredith and Lisa were event friends, meaning she's somebody in the community, I'm somebody in the community, and we're better off as friends than we are enemies. And I thought that, and that's what it seemed like to me.
It gives frenemies. It gives, when Marlo and Nene were having their early tiffs, and it's like, what are y'all doing down to the thing?
Bring
Like,
on season 3, baby. I'm
Yeah,
ready for it.
with no racists.
All,
all them people.
all hell is gonna break loose at the reunion about this one, and I can't wait. What do we have next on the docket, ladies?
Yes, so we have some hot topics, and first up is Miss Cardi B winning her defamation case against YouTuber Tasha K. And I'm just so happy for Cardi. And as a journalist who has a degree in this field, it's
Come on.
very it's something that we a lot of other journalists don't like often, is when bloggers make our community and our space look bad. And I'll say this too, it's very hard to win a defamation suit. You have to prove a lot, and the fact that she won is going to change the game of how a lot of people cover stories and the things that they put out. And the one thing I love about being a journalist is finding your sources and knowing that you're giving the world accurate information. And that girl did herself a disservice, because now she's gonna have to work real hard to find Cardi B her $1.5 million. And I know that lady wants her money tomorrow. Um, yeah, what do you guys think?
As a former blogger, I don't have a degree in journalism, but I've been in the journalism field and blogging and reporting and doing all of this, honestly, since I was like 13. So I got it from the mud in the School of Hard Knocks, right? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get it from the university, but I got it from the School of Hard Knocks. And I feel like I paid my dues. And, I do hate that, how can I put it? Like, I hate that someone, who may not have $4 million has to pay $4 million, but it's the risk that you take. It's the game, and like I said, sometimes it's a school of hard knocks, and so she is being taught a lesson, and by her being taught a lesson, it is teaching those of us who did not get those expensive degrees a lesson as well. And so, good luck and Godspeed to her. Hopefully, it broadens her outlook on her reporting style, and hopefully, Cardi B is feeling vindicated, and we can put this thing to rest.
Yeah, I just want to read out a few of the details of the case. It's basically a malicious campaign to destroy her, is what was filed. Uh, who Kibi being Tasha K, published multiple false and defamatory statements about Cardi B, saying that she was a prostitute, that she used cocaine, and even had herpes. Um, Followed by harassing videos, defamatory videos, intending to cause the plaintiff emotional distress. A jury on Monday awarded Cardi B $1.5 million in punitive damages, $1 million for general damages such as pain and suffering and reputation injury, and 1.3, I'm not reading all that, in litigation expenses. Court papers show she was also awarded $250,000 in medical expenses, but both parties agreed to reduce it to $25,000. Since then, tons of videos have surfaced of older videos of Tasha K relentlessly harassing Cardi B. I don't know the origins or how it started, but I do know that Tasha K went at her pretty hard. I think it's unfortunate. I think that YouTube and blogging and these types of folks, although people claim to hate them, I do think they keep the culture going and keep the culture up to date. And if done properly, it's really important, I think, and contributes to the success of a lot of, our well-known celebrities and reality stars and so on and so forth. But I do think that in the midst of success, sometimes bloggers, it becomes more about traction and getting the people watching than actually the truth of the headline or journal, you know, being authentic with the stories that you're telling. And I do think that um, Tasha K had a lot coming to her from the ways in which she's covered many people in many instances. And so it's unfortunate, but you have to be careful. You can't use, your influence to harass folks. So that's how I feel about it.
Right. And to clarify also, you can be a blogger in the media space and be very much so successful, but you have to still be ethical and follow certain rules and guidelines. And you could learn those things, like Chase said, going through the school of hard knocks and paying your dues and rubbing elbows with people who went to school and all those things. And here's the thing too, when you are blogging air quotes for the culture or just putting gossip out or anything like that, you also have to remember there's a reality here. Reality is she's a superstar. Reality is she's a mother, she's a wife, and these things all affect her brand. Whether you say good things about her or bad things about her, they all affect her brand. So now you have to sit back, whether you're a blogger or a journalist, because real journalists can also do unethical things. You have to sit back and say, what about my brand? What can cost me my brand? And that's how you move with your stories. That's how you move with your sources. You literally cannot just put anything out there and think it's going to be okay. Imagine if someone was to say those things about her and then she has to sit up on YouTube and read the comments or be all over. And I mean, she's not a big superstar like Cardi B, but it's going to be everywhere when it's Cardi B's name in it. And it's more believable because, people are going to believe more negative things about you, unfortunately, than positive things. And this woman, she wasted her time. And, I hope other people who are in the media space and world learn from her, because these lawsuits are very hard to win, because freedom of press plays a big role in these things. And she could have gotten away with a lot, saying a lot and doing a lot. And this wasn't it. This wasn't it at all. And she should be glad it's only $1.5 million. That's all I gotta say. All right.
Very, very, very unfortunate on both ends. Hopefully they get it worked out. Since we're on the topic of big bucks and Bitcoin, Erica Jane innocently received $750,000 in jewelry from Tom Girardi, a lawyer claims. Erica Jane attorney is blasting reports that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star knew her estranged husband Tom gifted her diamond earrings with the money he allegedly stole from client funds. First, Erica is completely innocent. Evan Burgess alleged in the court filing exclusively obtained by Page Six on Wednesday. Not even the trustee alleges that Erica knew the source of the funds that her husband used to buy her gift of earrings 15 years ago, which replaced a prior set of earrings bought years prior to that. Despite her alleged ignorance, Jane, 50, has agreed in showing of good faith to not sell or transfer the earrings pending investigation per court documents. The jewelry will be held in a third party escrow until a final order is entered. In a separate filing Wednesday, the trustee in the Girardi bankruptcy case claimed that disgraced attorney bought diamond earrings worth $750,000 in 2007 from M&M Jewelers using money that was a client trust account at his old law firm, Girardi and Keith. Thoughts?
I'm just gagging once again with Erica and how her divorce slash victims and accountability and all these things are taking place over time. Again, I think I said this in our first episode. Women, when you're with a man that is taking care of you financially or doing a lot for you, and actually I'll say it for a man too, if you're in a predicament where a woman is doing a lot for you or vice versa, however you float your boat, secure yourself and try to find out ways where things are coming from, what people are doing. Because as much as you can be married to somebody, they could also be your worst enemy. And for her to have been collecting presents and gifts and be so clueless this entire marriage, it's hard to completely believe the source for all of these things. She just completely does not know anything. It's tough because you want to think, and believe her, but it's also there's people who were burn victims and all these things happened to them and they suffered for years without getting any type of money in return. And you were walking around with $750,000 earrings. Come on. I don't know what to say. It's hard to sit here and say, I feel bad for her, or she didn't know, or it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. That's all I have to say.
I'm gonna let Sutton handle it.
And
That's all I got.
Oh my God.
I want to see what the earrings look like. $750,000 for a pair of earrings.
Listen, if there's
That's
some
all I
real
need to
diamond earrings, they could even be this big. Okay?
Right.
If there's some real diamond earrings. And that's the thing, too. We saw her going on private jets, going on lavish vacations, wearing Cartier all over. Some of the most expensive things, living in big mansions, owning mansions and properties all over the United States and wherever else, and didn't have no idea about them. And
Doing it all with me, my money. That's terrible.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to even want to say, all right, you know what? Even if she didn't know and this is all his fault and she's completely clueless, you have to think about all the other people who during this time were in in suffering. It's hard. I wouldn't even be. I'll be like, listen, take a couple of my pay stubs and let this go away, please. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Trying to prove that you had no idea where these lavish things came from, but you were rocking them, and now you have acknowledgement that people were suffering on the behalf of allegedly your husband and maybe you, and you still want to be over here talking about I'm so clueless. Girl, go give them people some of your paycheck and wrap it up and let it be behind you.
Sutton.
Well, folks, that is all we have for the TT to the TTT.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, honey, bring us on at.
Well, I want to thank everyone out there in TV land for watching us once again. I want to thank you, Ricky. I want to thank you, Katie, and for, of course, bringing it and giving it to the people how y'all feel, because that's why they tune in. This is the reality right after, part of the reality rundown. Thank you, Wellington. Thank you for popping up, Thomas. Hey, hopefully you feel better, baby. And we encourage you to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Most importantly, like this video with that thumbs up and subscribe, as well as leave us some comments about what you think about everything that we've discussed. And we'll see you here, as we always do, next week on Reality
Right
Right
after.
After. Oh my God. We'll get together. Right, y'all. Lord.
One more time. I knew you were gonna do that. That's why I asked.
Next week. We'll get together. Bye, y'all.
Bye.